Okay, so, but we all have some of that. Either it's from the tradition we were born, or people have issues with the Catholic religion. People have issues with religion, but within each of these religions, there are these healing masters and saints that can work for us, okay? Usually we have an affinity towards things. Like I have an affinity towards ancient Egypt, and there are masters that come in from ancient Egypt and stuff like that. So anyone have any particular masters or things in the spirit they like particularly? Okay. So when I don't, so people come to me a lot and they ask me about their past relatives that have passed away. And sometimes they're kind of caught in limbo, basically, you could describe it. And then really it's a matter of introducing them to a saint or a master that can help them. When I don't know intuitively what it is, Jesus is kind of the go-to guy because he covers the most people on the planet. But for some people, that's not who it is. Okay? And there's, so some years ago I was teaching this workshop and I was talking to people about this, and there was this woman there. She was definitely, a white American woman, and so I was talking and she goes, "No, I don't relate to that at all." And I said, "What?" She goes, "Buddha." I go, "Oh, wow." So Buddha is very similar, the energy is very similar to the Christ energy. But then I said to her, there is the part of the spirit. So in Buddhism, there's a lot of quieting the mind, and they don't talk about the next step of letting the spirit come in. And as soon as I said this to her, she got it, and this energy from Buddha came in, and her eyes lit up, and it was just really beautiful. Okay. So so there are angels, there's archangels, there's the lords of karma, there's something called the Great White Brotherhood. There are thousands of things, but really trust your intuition about it and always know to take it one step further, okay? So our mind wants to come in and humanize. Like people ask me about guides a lot, and I say, well, I suggest not always using those words, because we tend to humanize it and make it smaller than what it can be. So there's something about this that's beyond what we know. And that part of beyond is just real important to know. Okay. The other day I was working with someone and they had some physical health problems, and it was this purple light came in, and then it's like the person wasn't letting that in for some reason. And I was like, well, what's going on? Because usually purple is a really good healing color, but then all of a sudden something kind of changed, and it's like this green light came in and they really let it in. It was just, I could have gotten all bent out of shape because my mind knew the purple would be good, but then it was like, be open. So I'm talking about the colors, but it's the same thing with using the different saints and stuff like that. Okay. A big thing is don't discard the religion you were born into, because a lot of people, because of your upbringing, are like, I don't want to hear about that. There's, just to give you an idea, there's different beings that come in to help me when I'm working with people, and sometimes I don't know their names. There's this one, and I call it in a joking way, the big head out of that TV show, the third rock or the fifth rock from the sun or whatever it was, because they had the big head in there, and it's just this giant head. And I did hear someone once talk about the silent ones, and I think this is part of the silent ones, because this being becomes present but I never hear anything about it. Okay. So, but you could, there are endless things. So there's, in ancient Egypt, the person who's considered like the first doctor is called Imhotep, and that's a being. Saint Germain is something. You're here in England, St. Paul is a big thing in spirit. These things that just give us this little kind of tickle and smile inside are things that are real in the spirit. So I'm going to encourage you to go with it a little more, because your mind will come in and go, no, that's not real, but it probably is. Okay? So try to write some things down. And most people, like I said, can start with Jesus because he covers the most people in the world. Not everybody, but and a cool thing, I've studied the Islamic religion a lot, particularly Jalaluddin Rumi that most people know about. But, so Mary and Jesus I don't know about everyone how they practice, but that's part of the Islamic religion also. Okay, so these saints and beings are just real things in the spirit. So I encourage you to go for that. Okay, and then you can practice outside of here, like just you get a feeling about something, you call that energy in, you open your heart up, and you invite that in for yourself. So take a little time and write some things down and be real courageous. But I learned over the years, it is that you know what's going on, in the spirit, and it takes a certain courage to take that next step and really admit that to yourself, okay? So I'll give you a few minutes, I'll be quiet and let you work on that.